So, ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for the interest that you've shown in this press conference this morning. So, as I say, thank you for your participation, because we are talking about an important step when it comes to reinforcing Europe's defence capability. It's an existential issue, one could even say, if you look at what's happening in Europe currently. We had an exceptionally constructive debate in plenary yesterday, and with a substantial majority, the European Parliament adopted the first European Defence Industry Programme, EDIP. That means that as of the 1st of January 2026, EDIP will enter into force, and I would say finally enters into force, because, as you know, it has been under discussion for some 2 years now, and I think we've got to catch up on that lost time. Russia's brutal aggression or attacks in Ukraine have increased in recent weeks in spite of all our efforts to stop the fighting, and Ukraine faces a hard winter. If we look at the fate of Ukraine beyond its borders, and I think we need in Europe to stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine and be a reliable partner for Ukraine. And I think we have to reinforce our own capability and have a genuine European internal market in the area of defence. And that means that the huge potential of our industry has to be put to good use, and I am convinced that EDIP is a proper step in that direction. We need to make monies available for our defence purposes at national level, a considerable amount, and through the SAFE instrument with EDIP, we can encourage member states to enter into sort of common defence procurement. When it comes to the lead, the Parliament has seen to it that EDIP is shaped in such a way that production will be reinforced and strengthened within the EU with a sort of a longer term control of the weapons or armaments used, and there won't be disproportionate dependence on any third parties, although we know that we cannot prevent that totally. We have to we have seen a change in terms of reliance on formerly dependable partners. I think we have to step up to the plate and assume responsibility for our own defence, and I think the balance that we struck in the context of EDIP makes that possible. In the longer term, we are planning to strengthen the sort of European defence industry and to involve Ukraine and ensure defence of our common interests, and EDIP is one step in that direction. EDIP is a European instrument. It was conceived as such, and that means that we have to consider or look beyond national interests in the context of Europe. I think that is important in terms of the function of EDIP and reaction to future crises. And now we can move on to the implementation phase. We have to ensure that financial resources in the context of SAFE or the MFF so that EDIP can be properly funded. I think we have to ensure that our military, our strike forces have the most modern armaments made available. I'll give the floor to our rapporteurs, starting with Raphael Glucksmann for CD, following which I'll give the floor to François-Xavier Bellamy, and I'd like to thank them both. In terms of a trilogue, it was sort of less Commission and Parliament that had things to say, but rather representatives of Council, behind whom there are 27 member states that have slowly to learn that proper genuine defence involves pooling our efforts. So I'd like to thank them both for an exceptional achievement. But I think, without any exaggeration, this is a sort of a further page in the books of history.